Hey guys, Alex from Board Game Cove over here, and this is going to be a twofold video. First of all, a brief update about the coronavirus and how I'm doing, and I haven't really talked about it since my last video. And then from there, I'm going to be jumping into the five Kickstarters that I am most looking forward to, that I've currently backed and I'm waiting on and for them to arrive. Now, so going first to the COVID-19 thing, I haven't really talked about it since the video where I talked about having COVID-19, primarily because I don't really want to go over it in every single video, but I just thought I'd give a short update. Long story short, assuming I have it, which I don't know for sure, disclaimer, I believe I do, especially because I've never been this sick for this long. Absolutely never in my life that I can recall have I ever been this down for this long. And which brings me to the symptom aspect, which I'm slowly moving out of coughing. I'm still coughing a little bit, still have the slight shortness of breath if I talk too much or laugh or anything like that. But really the biggest symptom that's been a complete drain is I'm just exhausted all the time. If you've noticed, I stopped doing videos the past 2 days. I finally took a small break just because I'm always tired and I have no real desire to do anything other than the bare minimum to get through. Even right now, I sat there and figured, I was like, what's the most positive video I can come up with that just makes me happy to talk about? And I thought of Kickstarters I'm looking forward to, because that's my jam. But it's really just mentally draining. I don't want to play board games, I don't want to read rule books, all these things I normally do that give me such excitement. I'm just tired 24/7. All I want to do is sleep or sit in bed and watch a movie. I'm trying to, it's day 11 since this has started for me, so it should be getting better soon, hopefully. But really, I just want that enjoyment back, so I'm gonna do this video. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, if you see me do videos, I'm still doing the videos and whatnot, still trying to do them here and there, but there's definitely just a degree of tiredness and exhaustedness associated with this. I don't wish this upon anyone, and anyone else who has it, I hope you get better soon, and I'm with you. I know what it's like. I mean, I don't know what it's like from the stance of not being able to breathe, thank God, I'm nowhere near there, but just from that being completely drained aspect, I know what you're going through. From there, let's jump into something a little more positive, which is the 5 Kickstarter games I am most looking forward to. I have somewhere in the range of, I tend to back around, I'd say probably 1 to 2 Kickstarters a month. So depending on the month or depending on the year at any point, I have, 30 Kickstarters that I'm waiting on to arrive. When they come, some of them I end up being super excited about. I play them, some I get rid of. I sadly just got rid of Street Masters. I'll probably talk about that at some other point. But that unfortunately did not stick around in my collection in the end, which ironic, that was the last thing I was doing in the last COVID video. But in any case, jumping into it, so starting with number 5 is Reichbusters. Reichbusters from Mythic Games is the number 5 Kickstarter game that I'm most excited about, which is also fun because it's coming soon apparently. But Reichbusters is this World War II style game, and that it's the first half of the mission is a very stealth-based mission. The second half is like a run and gun and escape style game. It's the reason I'm so excited for it, the reason I'm excited for this one compared to so many other games, is to begin with thematically, it's a more of a unique spot in my collection. I don't actually have a lot of World War II games at all. I have a small handful. I have Undaunted Normandy, I have V Commandos. I think that might be it. I'd have to go through my collection and look, but that might be it. And I definitely have nothing in the miniature genre. I mean, even V Commandos isn't really miniatures, it's little tokens. So this one is more of a, like, I don't have any of Axis and Allies, I don't have Memoir 44. World War II is not really a genre that appeals to me that much. Reichbusters is not so much World War II as it is, I think it's called Weird War or something like that. I think there's a term for the genre, but it's, zombies and Nazis all combined. So it's a very unique genre for my collection, and I always appreciate a unique game in my collection. I appreciate when something is different, when it stands out, when something is, more unique. So thematically, it stands out. The miniatures and production quality look amazing. Mythic Games is a company that I generally like, and the gameplay style looks somewhat unique. The closest thing I actually have to it is probably V Commandos in terms of that stealth aspect, but this one puts a different spin on it. I don't know whether it'll be a good game in the end. This is definitely one that I'm less certain about its staying power. I'll have to play it. I'll have to give it a shot. But it certainly has a unique feel to it in terms of that initial stealthiness combined with then a run and gun and escape. I do have some reservations. I remember when it first came out, there were definitely some complaints about how the thematicness of the way stealth is handled and the way you're constantly making stealth checks that don't always feel thematic. I believe they did take steps to address them, so I will see how the game plays in the end, but it's definitely one that I'm excited about. Just because a game may not stick around doesn't mean I'm not excited about it. I'm often very excited. Like Street Master's a game I was very excited about. Sadly, it's not sticking around, but at the end of the day, the excitement is part of the fun for me. I don't really care. I can't say I don't care if it doesn't stick, but like I've always said, if a game is amazing and it's incredible and I want to keep it, it's a win. And if it's a game that I want to get rid of, it's also a win, because we only have so many games and so much time to play these things. So that is number 5, Reichbusters. Number 4 is Arkeis. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce that, but Arkeis is this legacy. It's a legacy game that it has a regular one-shot campaign mode, but it's primarily designed as a legacy game. This was one that was completely not on my radar, came out of nowhere, and just, it looks phenomenal. It's this interesting legacy style Egyptian dungeon crawler that I was completely, a bunch of notable designers like Gwynneth Cathala, I believe, is involved, Antoine Baza. There are a bunch of notable designers involved in this one, and it was, when it showed up on Kickstarter, I was completely, like, I took a look, I was like, okay, whatever, don't really see the appeal. And then as the Kickstarter kept releasing information, it looked more and more interesting. The miniature production looks incredibly well done. The gameplay looks engaging. The fact that it's a legacy game, I really enjoy playing legacy games with my wife quite a bit. Ultimately, Arkeis is one that, again, it fell into this unique spot in my collection. The legacy aspect, this is possibly the only time I've ever backed a legacy Kickstarter game, unless you count Gloomhaven, but even Gloomhaven is resettable, so to speak. So it's definitely an interesting one, and it does fall into an interesting spot in my collection, but I am very excited about it for when it does show up. Number 3 on the list is Kingdom Rush. Kingdom Rush I am super excited about because it's a polyomino game, and I love polyomino games, but this is a polyomino game combined with miniatures and this tower defense style gameplay, which both of those things really call to me. I was never really a fan of the Kingdom Rush app. I do love tower defense as a genre, but the Kingdom Rush itself was not a game that ever called to me. That being said, this game looks nothing like the app, so I don't really care. It just has in common the characters and the fact that it's tower defense, but ultimately it's a game where you're building these towers through the use of cards that you're putting out, and the cards shoot different polyomino shapes, which is really a very fascinating way to combine these two genres. And then you combine that with having heroes that can kind of go in and clean up after whatever the polyomino shapes left alive. But it's this interesting blend of polyomino placement combined with a tower defense cooperative game that looked really, really interesting to me. So it's definitely one that, again, it falls into this unique niche in my collection, a little bit of a unique spot for me. And I always, not always, but I have generally had a very positive results with polyomino games, and I like the tower defense as a genre. So Kingdom Rush is this cutesy little hybrid that kind of fits into this weird spot in the gaming sphere as a whole, but I am certainly looking forward to it. Next on the list is a two-way tie, and it's weird to have a two-way tie here, but I'll explain why I did this, which is Bloodborne and Trudvang. Now, the reason I picked both those and put them in as a two-way tie is because both of these games I am intrigued by the promise of what they're trying to deliver. Both of them have incredibly well done campaigns with this rich lore and unique universes to go along with both games. Bloodborne is obviously based on the Bloodborne video game, and Trudvang is based on the Trudvang RPG, but both of them have these mythical backstories that are really well fleshed out. They both have incredibly well done universes that are they feel very unique. They both of them do a service to the universes they're based on. I've played the Bloodborne video game. I have not played the Trudvang RPG, but they're both these interesting worlds with these interesting gameplay systems backing it up. Whether you're talking about the fact that they're both soloable, they're both co-op, but they both have this very richly fleshed out combat system as well as lore behind the games. Now, the reason I picked both of them and put them into one spot is because both of them I have no idea whether I'll actually enjoy them at all. Like I talked about with Reichbusters, sometimes it's just about the excitement and the hype and the promise, but with both of these games I'm excited about the potential behind it. I'm excited about playing them. I'm excited about seeing whether they deliver on those universes that they seem to be offering. At the same time, both of them could be a complete, flop for me. Bloodborne has this incredibly engaging combat system that every boss you're fighting, every character you're fighting has this style of play, and you have to decide to do attack fast, attack slow, how you're going to combine your combats. And Trudvang is basically a bag builder. You're buying and acquiring runes through a bag, combined with a rich storytelling system, combined with a legacy board that you put like these cards and slots in the board that change the gameplay as the game evolves. They're both very, very interesting, and they both offer this very unique style of gameplay in what they're doing, and both of them could be a complete flop for me. I have no idea, but I am super excited about them. Obviously, Simon does a great job with miniature quality, and they seem to be supporting these. Like, the Kickstarter updates are pretty fleshed out on both these games. They're both from a story stance as well as from a gameplay stance and how it actually plays out. So I'm super excited about both these games, while acknowledging that I have no idea whether they're actually a fit for my gameplay style and my collection. And finally, we have Project Elite. Project Elite is the #1 most excited Kickstarter game that I'm excited about, and the reason for that is because I already know that I like Project Elite. Now, there is no guarantee whether I will actually like Project Elite, the new Project Elite coming out from CMON. I don't actually know, because who really knows, but Project Elite is definitely one that I am super, super excited about, because I've played the original game. I love the hybrid of real-time gameplay combined with planning sessions that let you know what you're actually going to do in those planning sessions, and figure out what you're going to do, and then start frantically rolling dice while you try to attack all these aliens and tackle and win and all that stuff. And it's really, I've thoroughly enjoyed Project Elite. I'm looking forward to combining it with CMON's miniatures, as well as all the expansions CMON introduced in the Kickstarter. So this is one that I have played and enjoyed, and because of that, it's one that I am most excited for. I got rid of my original Project Elite a while ago, which I almost regret a bit, because I haven't played it in so long, and I'm anxiously waiting for the CMON's new version to come out so I can actually give it a shot and try it out. But it's definitely one that I am super excited about. That's basically it. I could have done a much longer list, because there are a lot of Kickstarters I'm excited about, but I didn't want to talk for that long. As you can probably see already, I'm a little short of breath as I do this. But ultimately, these are the 5 Kickstarters that I'm currently the most excited about. I did debate putting on Marvel United as well, but honestly, I have a little bit more hesitancy about that. Plus, it was more recent, so it's so far off in the distance that I'm less excited about it, but I'm sure it will make its way onto a different list at some other point. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm Alex from Board Game Co. If you like this video, if you like more content like this, if you like hearing about which games I like, comparing different games, Kickstarter games, the reviews, opinions, all that other stuff, go ahead and subscribe down below, ring the bell for notifications, comment, like, all that stuff. Which Kickstarter game have you been backing? Which Kickstarter game are you most excited about showing up at your door, and why? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments down below, and always have a good one, and good talking to you.